There's no doubt that Star Wars: The Force Awakens ushered in an entirely new generation of fans looking for more adventures in the galaxy far, far away. But with the whole issue of Legends canon versus the new canon and a whole slate of new books, comics, and movies arriving in the next few years, it can be hard to figure out where to start. Luckily for you, it's become a bit easier to dive into the canon materials now that a clear line has been drawn between Legends, pre-Disney, and new canon, post-Disney, stories, but that new material is quickly growing, too. In order to help new fans get a clear look at the official Star Wars timeline, we've put together a list of the most central Star Wars material and how it relates to the movies. What won't you see on this list? Some Star Wars Insider short stories, Star Wars Rebels magazine comics, some Disney novelizations, such as The Princess, The Farm Boy, and The Scoundrel, or upcoming books. Star Wars Insider stories have been included where we felt they contributed most to the overarching timeline, or even if we just felt they were particularly good. This timeline is intended to help you find the best jumping on point. There's always the pick up whatever you find first approach, though dates are sometimes approximate, and are based on years before, BBY, and after, ABY, the Battle of Yavin, equivalent to A New Hope, as per the official canon chronology. Buy all your Star Wars movies, books, comics, and merch here. 32 BBY, Darth Maul. Written by Cullen Bunn. Art by Luke Ross. Set before the events of The Phantom Menace and the villain's first demise at the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi, this comic book miniseries follows Darth Maul in the early days of his apprenticeship under Darth Sidious. While he's not allowed to engage the Jedi just yet, Maul still manages to come face to face with a young Jedi Padawan during one of his missions for the Dark Lord of the Sith. The events of the series show how the dark side makes Maul more powerful but also incredibly flawed. 32 BBY, The Phantom Menace. Directed and written by George Lucas. Related article, How the Phantom Menace teaser trailer became a cinematic event. 29 BBY, Marvel's Obi-Wan and Anakin. Written by Charles Sowell. Art by Marco Checchetto. This comic series, written by Charles Sowell and penciled by Marco Checchetto, is Disney's first foray into deep prequel territory, without even the Clone Wars to hang on to. Devoid of any ancillary material, Obi-Wan and Anakin paints a slightly different picture of the iconic Jedi team-up than the Legends stories did before. Anakin is a headstrong tinkerer, but there is also an edge of vengefulness or self-hatred around him in the first issue, when he summons a hologram of Darth Maul that surprises and disgusts the Jedi Council. The series expands on how Anakin's life as a slave affects the way he views the Jedi. This isn't an easy apprenticeship for either Jedi, but we know that it's leading up to at least some camaraderie by the time of Padme's attempted assassination in Attack of the Clones. Join Amazon Prime, watch thousands of movies and TV shows anytime, start free trial now. 22 BBY, Attack of the Clones. Directed by George Lucas. Written by George Lucas and Jonathan Hales. 2219 BBY, The Clone Wars. Created by George Lucas. Related article, 6 episodes that will make you a fan of the Clone Wars. 2117 BBY, Catalyst, a Rogue One novel. Written by James Luceno. Before Jyn Erso embarked on her fateful mission to steal the plans to the Death Star from the evil Empire in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, she lived on Coruscant with her parents, Galen and Lyra. Galen is a scientist who means to use his kyber crystal research to produce renewable energy for the galaxy, but his friend Orson Krennic has very different plans. The scientist doesn't know that he's actually helping create a weapon for the Death Star. 19 BBY, Darth Maul, Son of Dwemer. Written by Jeremy Barlow. Art by Juan Friedrich. Although Mother Talzin appeared to have perished in the Clone Wars, she returns in what may or may not be a spiritual form during the many battles in Son of Dwemer. This comic miniseries, like Dark Disciple, was adapted from unused scripts from the Clone Wars, and is something of a battle royale, pitting Darth Maul against a variety of foes, including Count Dooku and General Grievous. Related article, 5 Things You Might Not Know About Darth Maul. 19 BBY, Kindred Spirits. Written by Chris Golden. Often, Star Wars insider stories will tie directly to one of the recently released novels, exploring side characters or presenting scenes before or after the book. In the case of Kindred Spirits, the author was also the same. Christie Golden penned this tale of Asajj Ventress finding an unlikely ally shortly before Dark Disciple. Readers interested in the bounty hunter persona Ventress adopted during the Clone Wars might especially appreciate the tone of this one, which,